Acorn's text tool can be found on the Tools palette as a capital letter T. Click once on it to load the options in the Inspector palette. You can see here the current family is Lucida Grand with a typeface of regular and a size of 288. We can click once on the canvas to have our bounding box initiated, and then type out some text. When you are done typing, click once outside the box or hit the Escape key to have text editing ended. If you want to give the text a stroke, go to the Inspector palette and find the stroke slider. We'll increase the number a little bit. Now the reason the stroke can't be seen right now is because it's white on a white background, but we can go over to the Tools palette and click on the outer color well. This will bring up the Colors palette, and we can pick a different color. Now let's go back up to the stroke slider and modify its value some more. To change the fill color, click on the inner color well. And once again, pick a color from the Colors palette. To remove the fill from your text, click on one of the shape tools. Here we'll click on the oval tool and uncheck the fill box. Now if you're wanting to apply a gradient to your text, make sure the fill box is checked because the gradient is the fill. From the Shape palette, you can also add a drop shadow to the text. So we're going to quickly switch over to the Rectangle tool using keyboard shortcut R and click on the drop shadow option. From here, we can add some blur, modify the shadow position, and even change the shadow color and opacity. An additional option to add a drop shadow to text is to use a filter. Click on the Filters button in the Inspector palette and find the drop shadow filter. Any of Acorn's filters can be used on text, so be sure to experiment and also check out Acorn's filters, tutorials, and documentation. To move your text, select the Move tool, keyboard shortcut V, and then click and drag on the text box. To rotate the text, hover over one of the corners and rotating arrows will appear. You can then click and drag to rotate the text the way you want it. Another option to rotate text is to click on one of the shape tools in the Tools palette, and then modify the angle in the Inspector palette. If you want to continue to edit or add to your text, you can choose the Text tool or the Move tool and click on your text box. Double-clicking will select one word, and triple-clicking will select all the text in your box. So this tutorial covered the basics of Acorn's text tool. If you click and hold on the text tool icon in the Tools palette, a drop-down menu will appear with additional options for circle text and path text. So be sure to check out Acorn's additional tutorials that cover each of these tools.